Good evening and salutations, my bold and beautiful fans. I'm not gonna lie, this episode was kind of so-so. Watching Eric and Quen be together, I felt such disgust for both of them. I felt absolutely disgust for both of them. I was extremely disappointed. And I don't know if I can make that any more clear. I was extremely disappointed in the way that Eric handled himself. I mean, he practically just, you fired this woman because she gave you an erection. And then you come to your wife and you're just like, well, I get that, we had to sit there and be distanced, but I think that firing her was a little bit too far. Bro, aren't you the head of this company? Aren't you the head of this company? You're telling your wife that you think that firing Donna was too far. What? I know that this is a soap opera. And I know I'm sitting there trying to make sense, add a bit of logic into this show. And, it's kind of a fool's errand, but, the fact that he actually said that was like, bro, like I said, this Eric failed. He failed his man test. He failed his manhood test. Pretty sure I called it another name, but he pretty much failed. Crazy ass Quen was like, no, I don't think that I went too far. I understand. Here's the thing. The fact that she was still kind of complaining about, Donna, it was like, sweetheart, you got this idiot to sit there and fire his employee because she gave him an erection. Why don't you just take the win and just shut the hell up about it? That's what I kept thinking the whole time Quen kept talking. It was just like, the sad part is that at first I felt bad for Eric because, we thought he had the whole ED thing, and that he just wanted to be with someone. He was just lonely, and he wanted to be with someone. Okay? And then, even when Eric was like, maybe I just want to be with her because I'm lonely. But hey, I got an erection back again, so... Listen, I'm not sitting there trying to belittle his, problem at the time. Trust me, as a man, I get it. Okay? I get it, and it's not a day that goes by that I do not sit there and take that joy for granted. But you caved towards your crazy ass wife. I honestly tell you the truth, at this point, I don't even want to talk about that part anymore because it ain't even going anywhere. She hugs him and she thanks him for putting her first and blah 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 blah, and I just I don't care. I don't care. Quen, you won. You won because you met a man that didn't know how to act like a man. So congratulations on that. Now Katie is furious. Katie, like the rest of the world, is like, I'm sorry, he did what? He fired you? Of course Donna's like, no, I quit, I didn't want to sit there and put him in that position, I didn't want to sit there and blah, 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 blah. Okay? I can't wait until Katie and Brooke finds out what Eric did, okay? Because this goes beyond, because even Katie was like, listen, I get that, she may have a problem with, with you and her husband or whatever, but like that doesn't give him a right to sit there and mess with your employment. Now, if we can just get that damn restraining order, but whatever, I guess one thing at a time. But again, it was another one of those scenes that kind of went nowhere because she was just like, she practically gave up. So it was like, alright, I mean, I still feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, if you don't really care about your job that much, then why the hell should I? I mean, again, I want to sit there and just kind of remind people, I really shouldn't have to remind people, but, there's a movement against stuff like that, but whatever. Then you got Donna, then you got Sheila and Deacon, and honestly, to tell you the truth, at this point, Sheila makes a bunch of fake letters, and she pretty much just makes sure that Deacon is on board with their plan, and Deacon has reservations, because he wanted to do it the right way. He didn't want to sit there and, deceive her like that, and pretty much he's like, yo, listen, if we slip up on one detail, we're screwed, okay? We're done. And of course, you got Brooke and Hope talking, and Brooke takes a trip down memory lane of all, her little dirty deeds or whatever. I think if I could sit there and take appreciation of anything throughout that scene, it's the fact that, well, I mean, they've been on the show for a long time. I mean, yeah, I've seen that actor be on GH as AJ. I think he might actually been the first AJ. I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but yeah, and you get a young Brooke, you get a young Deacon. It was great. It was great. I liked it. I really did. Not gonna lie, watching 90s scenes of watching 90s soap opera sex scenes and watching today's soap opera sex scenes, you can tell back then they were a little bit more lax with their scenes, okay? There was things that they were doing that I was like, yeah, y'all can't get away with that now, right? It almost reminds me of the scene between Bella, like the new actress that plays Bella, and Philip. Like back in the day, like their sex scene. Their sex scene was like, this is looking a little, how do you say, kind of like the movies that I enjoy, which is odd because this is on prime time, and I'm like, man, the 90s, early 2000s was the Wild West. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was interesting seeing that, seeing them as back in the day. Hope pretty much is done. Hope is like, listen, I know you mean well, but I have been denied of being with my father for far too long. I ain't doing it anymore, okay? Brooke talks about, I made mistakes in the past, and I let him seduce me, and, he was away, and he was there, and it's just like, alright, yeah, that's classic excuses, but sure, whatever. And of course, that's not Brooke's first time, her first rodeo as far as cheating on Ridge or practically anyone else that I could sit there and probably name. Especially from the comments that I've read and when I go on B&B Instagram, oh man, they really do tear up Brooklyn's. I mean, they really do tear up Brooke. Rightfully so. So, Brooke is crying and Hope is crying and yep, Hope wants to sit there and have a relationship with her dad, and that pretty much ends that. She wants to give him a second chance, I don't blame her. Yeah, I don't blame her. I think that's about it. More or less, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.